What's going on, New York Giants fans? Man, I just wanted to come to you real quick with the post-game reaction. As you can see, that score is 31-24. That's the final. The New York Giants went into Minnesota and pulled out the win. And let me tell you something, it was nothing short of beautiful. The game was beautiful. The game flow was beautiful. The performances were beautiful. I mean, we should be proud as New York Giants fans the way we performed in this playoff game. This was not just a win. This was because we're all aware of what happened, how Minnesota beat us the last time with a 61-yard field goal. But this time we came into the Vikings home, and again, we sling the ball. We won this game on Daniel Jones's arm. I got to tell you, I'm now convinced. I was on the fence. I was indifferent. Keep Daniel Jones if he stays, if he goes. I didn't want to pay him a certain amount of money. Look, pay the man, pay him. Okay, pay Barkley. We got to bring those guys back. We've got to have them. The game went beautifully. Matter of fact, the game went too well. At the end, they tried to steal the game from us by calling a roughing the passer call on Dexter Lawrence. Why? What was the purpose of the call? He did everything he was supposed to do. He was tackling Kirk Cousins while Kirk Cousins still had the ball. What was he supposed to do? Pick him up and then lay him down gently? I don't understand. He didn't try to land on him or anything. This was absurd. And the only other problem that I had in this game is really Darius Slayton's drop that could have sealed the game. And I thought right then, when he dropped the ball, I said to myself right then, I said, could this be that pivotal moment that stops us from winning this playoff game? Because it didn't make sense. But the defense came through, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be a New York Giants fan always, even in the down times. But I'm exceptionally proud right now. The way we performed, the way Daniel Jones performed, the way our wide receivers performed, we don't have the most talented roster. And they went into Minnesota and beat them. And they did it with Daniel Jones throwing on early downs. And let's give it up for Mike Kafka. It's the creative play calling that it just creative and aggressive. And if you watch my video before when I spoke about this matchup, I said that we had to limit our mistakes. We couldn't have the big penalties. We couldn't have turnovers, and we had to have aggressive play calling. We had to have Daniel Jones perform offensively in the passing game like he did the first time we faced the Minnesota Vikings. We needed Saquon. Remember, I said we needed Saquon to run the rock. We needed him to do that. We needed Daniel Jones to perform with his arm as well as his legs, and not just his legs. We didn't need to run on first down, run on second down, and throw on third down like we had done a lot of the early games that we played. And so this game sets the tone. And I told you, since the last time we played Minnesota, that was a turning point for our offense. I saw it. I saw the ability, and give it up to the offensive line. They did not play lights out by any means, but they did enough. They did enough to allow Daniel Jones to get the ball down the field, to go through his reads and progressions. I think that they had maybe, what was it, one sack against a pretty good pass rushing front. And the only other problem and this is a small one, I'm just nitpicking here because it was not a lot there. In terms of things to talk about negatively, there's not a lot of meat on the bone. All right, coverage. All right, Wink Martindale played coverage, and I did not like the coverage play that much, because to me, it kind of uh, gave Cousins the time to go through his progressions. Now, I understand why he did it. I understand why he bracketed Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson received a lot of attention in this game, and rightfully so. So I understand why he did what he did, and I also it worked. Okay, it was more like a bend don't break defense, and I understand. I get it. I just feel like Wink Martindale has been aggressive all season long, and he's it's been do or die, right, with his pass rush and getting home to the quarterback and that type of thing. And so this is what we were used to, and I think probably this is probably why he decided this was probably a chess move by Wink Martindale to say we're not just gonna. They're expecting me to just rush the passer, and I'm not going to give them what they're looking for. Maybe that's what it was, because it was obvious to me that this had been practiced. Like Wink Martindale, you could see the practice in the defense and what they wanted to do. All right. So hats off to the coaches. Oh, hats off to Dayball, hats off to Kafka, hats off to Wink Martindale and the rest of that coaching staff for preparing our players to play in this game. They were not lacking in preparation. That was obvious. They didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. They didn't get a whole lot of penalties. And so I'm just overjoyed right now. I mean, it's hard when you care about your team so much and you got these knots and butterflies in your pocket and in your stomach, but we did it. We won, and we deserved it. I mean, we worked hard. We played hard for this. The players played hard for this. They worked for this. They deserve this. They deserve this win. And it started the last time we played Minnesota. That was our pivotal game on offense to be more aggressive and to go more vertical. And it showed that for the most part, our wide receivers can catch the ball. And again, speaking of wide receivers, how about Isaiah Hodgins coming through again in the clutch? I mean, it's just been phenomenal for this guy, and I want him back here next season. No matter who we draft, he's got to be one of those guys that we have on this team. So look, let's enjoy the win. We got Philly next week. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. And just like last video, I didn't want us to overlook the Minnesota Vikings. We cannot overlook Philly. We know Philly is everything that we think they are. This is not a joke. It is time. We must enjoy the win. We have made phenomenal progress in one season, right? But we got a dog fight again next Sunday. You hear what I'm saying? What I'm telling you, this is a dog fight with a team that beat us already twice. And we're talking about the blowout was the first one, I believe. And you know what? Here's what we have on our side. You know how hard it is to beat an NFL team 3 times in this league? 3 times in this league? Do you know how difficult that is? It could be done, obviously, but it is hard statistically. And no, this is the New York Giants eye test, okay? And so the eye test is telling me that we have a shot to beat Philly. We have better than a greater shot at beating Philly. We can beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But again, I'll get into the prediction and the matchup and what we need to do, but it ain't a whole lot different than what we needed to do in this game. Because if you really think about it, if you look up on the score here is 31-24. We scored 31 points. I think we had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. We had 2 touchdowns, not field goals, touchdowns. Look, I'm giddy. I'm happy. I don't know what to say. Let's enjoy the win. Let's get ready for Philly next week. All right. Look, love you.